What I like about the Dragon Ball franchise. Hold on, let me put my little earring in. My little swag or whatever, nigga. You know what's funny is when you become older, you don't even really care about swag all that much. It's kind of just like I kind of just like wearing an earring. It's like I don't really give a fuck about buying any expensive clothes and trying to be all cool and shit. Like nigga, I'm almost 30 years old. I don't care about none of that no more. You know, I'm at the age now where I'm just like I just like telling my stories. Like you know, I'm becoming an old man in his late 20s. When it's just I tell all these childish stories back in my day, ass nigga. Like like I just became that nigga now, bro. Well, I just love to tell the youth my stories. Like there'll be people who are like at my freaking job, and I'm like, back in my day, we used to watch Yu Yu Hakusho, not JJK. You know, so it's just funny, bro, because that's just kind of how it is. Because there's like always these new guys, and they're just like, yeah, you know, they're around 17, 18 at my job, and they're always just talking about JJK and talking about all these new anime shows, and I'm like, bro, back when I was young, boy, rest in peace to Akira Toriyama, but we used to watch Dragon Ball, nigga. We used to watch Dragon Ball Z, you know. That's how I was back in the day. I mean, now. That's how I am now. I just be like, yeah, I watched Dragon Ball Z. I watched Yu Yu Hakusho. If it wasn't for Yu Yu Hakusho, there'd be no Bleach. And if it wasn't for Bleach, there'd be no JJK. So JJK is indirectly inspired by Yu Yu Hakusho. Like I just be doing that because I just like it's true. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy too because like the older people, man, like I mean the youth now, the younger anime fans, it's like they think that all the old anime that we watch is freaking boring because they're so used to this like high quality fight scenes and shit. Now it's like when they go and watch like something old like Bleach or Yu Yu Hakusho, they're just like, I don't really like that. But y'all, you know, for those of you guys who don't know, I freaking love Yu Yu Hakusho and Bleach. I love both shows. I watched Bleach first before I watched Yu Yu Hakusho, but I still love Yu Yu Hakusho. Like I loved going back and watching Yu Yu Hakusho. You know, like I watched my anime all out of order, bro. It's like I watched it on TV when it was on like Toonami, but it was like it's like you can't remember watching like a couple of episodes on TV. Like that's different than now when you like binge watch the whole show. You get what I'm saying? Like I can say, oh, I watched Dragon Ball Z on Toonami, but I never watched it from the first episode all the way to the last episode on Toonami. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like every time you watch it, they're on like a different episode. It was crazy. If y'all remember watching Bleach on Toonami, I swear Bleach's episode was all out of order, bro. I swear it was. Maybe it's just like a fever dream and I'm making this shit up in my head, but I swear I'd watch it and it'd be like on episode like 7 and then would flip over to episode 140 just out of nowhere. I swear it used to do that. And I swear I remember there being so much filler in that show just out of nowhere. But yeah, so this video is about Dragon Ball Z. I'm talking about all that other stuff, but this video is basically not just Dragon Ball Z, but Dragon Ball as a franchise and what I like about Dragon Ball. And I'm gonna try to do this in the next like 10 minutes because I don't want this video to be too long because I gotta go to work. One big thing that I liked, and I want to start out with Dragon Ball. I love the adventure-esque feel that Dragon Ball had. I love seeing Goku running around looking for Dragon Balls. And that to me was fun. If you guys don't know me, I love amazing world building and I love deep worlds and I love when characters actually go to multiple locations and areas. I hate when shows will have it to where, or books will have it to where characters are in the same location for too long. Because if you're in the same setting, location, or area for too long, then it better be the most interesting mess ever. It better be the most interesting story taking place in that one location. One good example of this would be the Hateful Eight. The Hateful Eight, pretty much the whole movie is in a bar and it's freaking amazing. But I haven't seen other movies that really can capture that feel, except for another movie that was created by Quentin Tarantino, which is Reservoir Dogs, which is basically the basis of of his style is basically that when it comes to staying in one room and him figuring out how to make a story interesting, even though the people are just in one room. Like Quentin Tarantino is a freaking genius when it comes to that, because Reservoir Dogs was like his first attempt at of that type of movie where they're just in one area and explaining the whole story and we're just hearing different parts of the stories from different people and shit. I mean, like for example in Reservoir Dogs, it's like they all tell their different versions of what happened with the heist and them trying to steal steal. And it's kind of crazy because it's very unique in the sense of it's like you're literally telling us a story after the heist, after robbing a bank or etc. You know what I'm saying? Versus a lot of the time people want to tell the actual part of the story, like going to the heist, and then like the end of the movie is literally like them trying to steal the money or whatever, and then everybody dies or some shit, and then one guy like gets away or something. Kind of like Set It Off, or Dead Presidents. You know, those are two examples of really good heist movies in my opinion. They're black movies. Go check them out. White people, y'all probably would love those, because they're like really good movies. I think both black people and white people make amazing movies. Like Enemy of the State, I was just watching that. I literally have it sitting here on my PlayStation. That's one of my favorite movies. I freaking love that movie. It's just so entertaining, bro. I wish I could bring like a DVD, a DVD player into my job and just watch that while I'm doing my thing. That'd be hella extra. But yeah, man. But you know, Tarantino's style of that, you can tell that he really like updated his style and improved on it when looking at The Hateful Eight. But let me stop talking about that. Back to Dragon Ball as a franchise. I love when a series can go from when a series has good world building, and when a series tries its best to make the world feel lived in and feel not necessarily realistic, but unique, and feeling like when I close the pages of the book, the characters are still doing stuff. The characters still feel like they're moving. An example of this is Discworld as well. Discworld is like that. So I really like that Dragon Ball has that feel to it, you know. And just the feel of Goku running around looking for the Dragon Balls, and we know he's trying to get a wish. And it's like the world in itself is very unique, because you don't remember a lot of anime shows doing that, where it's a character really going on an adventure. And I always use the example of, if your story has a character going on an adventure, then that story is probably going to become one of the most popular stories ever, if you can make the adventure aspect entertaining and interesting, and not feel dull and boring while you're doing it. Because some people get stuck on world building but don't know how to make a story. Toriyama, from what I heard, was freestyling this. Rest in peace to the GOAT. He was literally freestyling Dragon Ball, and it was like, it's like kind of inspired by Journey to the West, the Chinese folklore story. But he kind of had his own little spin on it and whatnot, you know. And it's interesting that he started his story from that. Like, he started his story from being inspired by a literal folklore esque poem or short story, or whatever you want to call it, folk tale, fairy tale, etc. But it's crazy that he took that little idea and basically made this really interesting blend of like sci-fi and like the Stone Age. It's like half of Dragon Ball's world is like futuristic, but then like the other half of it, you know, futuristic cyberpunk kind of sci-fi, but then the other half is like dinosaurs are running around. And it's like really interesting that, like, you know, that he got that idea of just kind of mixing those things together, because it literally feels like three different variations of three different time periods. Sci-fi time period, you know, the dinosaur time period, but then he also has the time period of like a Japanese folktale. And like, it's actually crazy when you think about it, because he's putting a lot of inspiration in the story without you even really noticing at first. You know, but yeah, so there's kind of that in itself. That's something that I like. And then I like the style of Goku. I like how he dresses. I like how he just like naturally gets stronger, and he's a really good fighter. And I love how Toriyama does change his clothes throughout the series. I'm not gonna lie, and this might only be for the anime, but it does feel like sometimes like the story is kind of low-key dragging a little bit in Dragon Ball. That's not to say that that's really an issue though, because you still have like adventure aspects of it, but it is sometimes you don't really know exactly what the story is trying to kind of do. You can kind of tell when Toriyama is just like thinking of stuff on the spot. But it's always so freaking fascinating to see him think of something on the spot and then just make it into something more interesting, you know? And it's kind of my style. Like, people are going to think my story probably is boring. I'm not going to say that. I don't want to put that into the universe, but there's a possibility there's going to be that group who thinks it's boring, you know? But I feel like people are going to think my shit is really interesting because the world is so deep and vast and interesting in itself. But that's the aspect I like. Another aspect I like is I really like the cast of characters. Goku being kind of a naive, kind of dumb kid who lives in the mountains, and he just be swimming around finding giant fish and cooking them and stuff, and just the backstory of the 4-star Dragon Ball being the Dragon Ball that his grandpa Gohan gave him, and you know, that was interesting. And then finding out that he killed his grandpa Gohan, was really crazy. And it's weird because I have this weird fake fever dream false memory of actually seeing Goku turn into a great ape and crush Grandpa Gohan. And maybe that was in that one movie. They have like this movie where it like came out around the time of GT, where it's really similar to kind of, it feels like it's kind of mixing Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball GT together. I think it might have been from that movie or something, but it's weird. I have this like weird memory of remembering that as a kid. I don't know why, but it's like I genuinely remember him like stepping on Goku. It's like weird. I mean, Gohan. Excuse me. I remember Goku turning into a great ape and stepping on Gohan, and actually seeing it. But I'm like, that's a false memory because I don't think that happens in any Dragon Ball media. Um, but I do like finding out that backstory. I like finding out the backstory of, Goku really caring about him and, just him taking care of Goku and Goku just living in the mountains like a hermit. And then I like the dynamic with Bulma and Goku because Goku's very naive and Bulma's very like selfish and manipulative and, you know, she acts all sexual to kind of like get dudes to do what she wants and stuff. But then it's like this story is wild because then it shows like times where there's like these creepy dudes who are like, oh yeah, and I'm just like, chill, bro. It's supposed to be like 14, bro. Come on, bro. But they're clearly supposed to be bad guys in the story. Those are the bad guys. But I just remember one scene being like wild. Y'all remember the like one gay dude with the blonde hair and blue eyes who like really wanted Krillin? I was like, what the hell? I was like, y'all gotta chill, bro. But I really also like the art style of Dragon Ball a lot. The art style of it is very cutesy wootsy, very comfortable. It feels good. The colors look good. It looks like it could have came out nowadays, even though it's literally from the 80s. That's something that I like about it as well. And then also, I like Master Roshi as a teacher. He's a pervert, and he's one of the original old man pervert type characters that's obsessed with the young girls, bro. And I know like people think it's problematic, but it's just like it's a part of anime. It's like I don't want people to take him too seriously, bro, because he's not so. It's like he's an old pervert, and it's funny because he's an old pervert. Like, and realistically, like he can get his ass beat by people. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah. But I like how he's like the original old pervert. It's just a cliche in anime, but we love this nigga, and I love how he really trains Goku and Krillin, and he has them do like simple stuff. Like he has them like working at construction sites and like going and giving milk to people, and like they have to give milk to everybody on the island and shit like that. Like that shit is funny to me because it's such a simple way of getting stronger, but it does work. And that gave me the vibes of Karate Kid. I'm not gonna lie, like going back watching that recently, I watched it like a couple of months ago. That gave me Karate Kid vibes so much. I was like, this must be inspired by Karate Kid. And the thing is too is Toriyama loves Jackie Chan. It's pretty obvious, especially when Master Roshi, when he's fighting in the world tournament, he calls himself Jackie Chun. So that's pretty obvious, and you can also see it because later on in the tournaments, the style of them fighting is very similar to Jackie Chan. You know how Jackie Chan likes to use like items and stuff and trickery to fight. It's like Master Roshi literally does stuff like that. He'll like bump you in the head. He'll act like he's dumb. He's doing like the drunken fist style that Jackie Chan has. The drunken style or whatever. Because Jackie Chan has like those drunk fighter movies from back in the day. And it's crazy how much Jackie Chan has done. Like Jackie Chan was like this Yo Saiba from City Hunter in some movies. I was like, what the hell? I was like, I didn't know he did so much, bro. And apparently he was a corn star, which I thought was crazy. Keyword corn. I said corn, like popcorn or corn on the cob. I did not say the P word. So it's like that in itself is pretty crazy too. Finding that out was like, what the hell? Because I always looked at Jackie Chan as like a Jackie Chan is a very like innocent older man. But so finding that out was like, what? And I love him in the Rush Hour movies, and I love him in the remake of Karate Kid. But I love the old school Karate Kid movies too. I freaking love those movies, bro. I can watch them all day long. I need to go buy those movies. I know they got them in the store. I need to go buy those. I don't think they got them at Walmart though. I might have to go to like Second and Charles or something to get them. Or they might be at like Game Exchange. But yeah, man, like that was something I really liked was I always loved training arcs. Training arcs are always some of my favorites because we get to see the teachers train their students to become strong, and then after that, they Goku's like running around looking for the Dragon Ball still. He goes to like that snow village. I don't know. I'm a sucker for like people who go to like a snow town for some reason. I really like snow in my freaking like books and anime and manga and comics. When they go to a snow area, it's always interesting. Um, yeah, so that's stuff that I like from Dragon Ball. I'm gonna do a part two, so you guys wait for a part two of things that I love about the Dragon Ball franchise. But this is just the first half. I'm gonna talk about the time skip, but I gotta go to work. This is already 15 minutes long, which is crazy. It doesn't even feel like I've been talking that long. But like, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I hope you guys feel loved and cherished, and I hope that you find things in your life that make you happy and that help you push forward in this world. We need more happiness. We need more love. We need more affection. We need more kindness. We need more support. And like I always say, if you guys need support, you can always comment in my comment sections and I'll talk to you as much as you want. I'm probably going to end up doing a psychiatrist channel that might be on my second channel. I'm not sure yet how I'm going to set it up. I'm going to set it up. I have a lot of videos that I want to make in the future. So you guys just stay tuned. Love you guys. Take care. Be safe. And remember to always love yourself, love your heart, love your family. And make sure you show your family that you love them and care for them because you never know when they're going to go. We did not know that Akira Toriyama was going to die. And I was tore up. I ain't going to lie to you guys. I cried about it twice. I was at work watching the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. Bro, I was tearing up so damn hard. I mean, nobody noticed, so that's cool. But I don't give a fuck if they notice anyway. But I was tearing up, bro. Like, I watched that. And then what else did I watch? And then I watched, like, a little bit of Dragon Ball Super. But hope you guys are having a good day. Peace and blessings.